Hi guys, today I'm going to show you this Runmefit GTX 2 limited edition orange US only as far as I know. Yeah, regarding the specs, an absolutely awesome watch regarding health monitoring, fitness tracking, has even built-in GPS, barometer, altimeter, allows for tracking of 60 plus sports type. We have a really high rating of 3 atmospheres of waterproofness and a 7 to 14 days battery runtime. But of course these are only the highlights. We have much more. And so this is what we get in the box. You get this user manual, comes with this proprietary USB-A to magnetic charging cable. And so here we have the watch, an absolute beauty. Watch this thing here. If you're also a big fan of orange, then this thing is almost a must. And after removing the protection, you can see how nicely this is built. Bezel with some imprint. We have the rotatable crown, we have button here, pseudo buttons here which are not working of course, but still looks awesome. Easy to replace watch band. Size for the watch band, if you want to replace that, looks like 22 millimeters, but for me definitely no need to replace it because it's so beautiful. And so to activate the watch we have to connect USB-A here to power bank or other USB power source. And regarding the magnet, you'll find it easily because from the other side it doesn't work, so it works only from this side. So let's see, it goes automatically into charge, and during this time we can scan the QR code for the Runmefit app. QR code brings us to their website, or actually directly to the Play Store here in this case, or Apple App Store if you have an iPhone. 500,000 plus downloads, that's a lot, and the rating is pretty high for a smartwatch. So let's open the app. So after entering personal data, of course we have to give authorization regarding notification, allow, and we are already on the app screen. So let's go to devices, click on the plus to add a device, more permission required, device location, allow. Now it's scanning for the watch and it has already found it. Yeah, absolutely awesome, super easy. So we click on connect, pairing, then we get some additional pair request. I guess we have to allow also here, more, allow access to messages, and then there's already a new update available. So it looks like they definitely care about their watch, so that they are providing updates, and the update works really fast. Finish updating, go to use. Okay, and we are ready here. We get the active screen and the time is already synced, but the setup was definitely super easy. And so I've been wearing this Runmefit GTX 2 GPS smartwatch for almost 1 week, day and night. Of course, even for sleeping, also for sports, 2 times swimming, 2 times walking and other stuff. It has been super comfortable. Usually I think I've been wearing it a little bit wider, and that's possible because the watch band is really super stable. That's the awesome thing. You can see, can wear it very comfortable, a little bit wider, but you can still track everything nicely because there's no gap. So the watch and the band are absolutely phenomenal, some of the best combinations I've ever seen. But also the inside, all the functions have been really good. I mean, it's definitely not a perfect watch. Like with most smartwatches, we have some things which are not working as we wanted, or they have some smaller bugs, but overall it has been doing a great job. You can definitely feel that it's a very special watch, and so after all I would say one of the best, if not the best, budget-friendly smartwatch. But let's go to all the details. When we long press, we can change the watch faces, but we can also download them from the app. Going through the app a little bit later. Messages up here is rather unusual. I think we have same thing with the Apple Watch. Other than that, pretty much all smartwatches have the messages down here, and unfortunately it's not possible to change that.
Down here we have the settings page, which is one of the best ones I've ever seen. By the way, that's not a light blue, everything is dark blue. Unfortunately, the camera is not doing a really good job regarding colors. So on the left top we have some do not disturb, we have normal do not disturb, we have also sleep setting, which is really nice. It's also dimming right away the screen, and a very unique thing here is whatever we touch, we will get some information here. For example, here it says always on display on, always display off. With the always display on, I got around 4-day battery runtime. Without the always on, with just the wrist gesture, sometimes battery consumption was down to only 5% per day, which would be 20 days, but probably that's not possible. They are saying 7 to 14 days, that's probably more reasonable. Brightness is absolutely awesome as well. You can see the variety from super bright to super dark is really good. That's also something which is very helpful, especially the brighter setting, so we can see everything still nice and clear outside in direct sunlight. And on the lowest brightness we can still see it during the night, but it doesn't wake up other people or so. We have the wrist gesture, we have flashlight, we have the sound settings, we can search for the smartphone, and another unique option is the water protection. That's an awesome thing. For the water protection we can see a blue light, so we can have it like that, and when we go into the water for swimming, whatever you do, you can still see the watch, but the water isn't doing any crazy stuff regarding the watch. That's a very unique thing, very helpful. And when we are going out of the water, we just long press here, hold it like that, shake out the water out of the speaker. On the right side we have the fitness information, and further right we have the heart rate, further right we have the workout, so we have some information about what we have been doing. Or we could start it right from here, but we have also this dedicated button down here, and further right we have the sleep information, but we have also a dedicated function with more information. And here we have the weather. Of course I have to blur that because it's showing my hometown. There's no weather forecast, but at least it shows the current temperature, low temperature, high temperature for a day. And when we go back on the left side, we have the recently used apps. That's super helpful. In a couple of cases it hasn't been updating, but usually I would say 90% of the cases it's updating, so you can see what we have here. So I click here where we can see all the apps. By the way, you can also use the crown here, it works really good. We can't really use it with one finger, has a little bit of resistance, but in general it works really good. Super helpful. And something I wanted to tell about the crown, you can see it works pretty much everywhere. Works here regarding the tiles, for example, also here different sports modes when we are searching for the right app, to set timers, customized, for example setting the minutes, you can see. And that's an absolutely awesome implementation. That's on the same level as Android Wear watches or Apple watches. Something I haven't seen in many smartwatches, that the rotatable crown is so well integrated and works pretty much everywhere. So let's, for example, start the timer function. And when we go back to the main screen, left side, you can see we have the timer now here in the recent app. Super helpful. Then we have some overview of the health, fitness, sleep, how far we have been walking, and we have even music control if it's connected to the smartphone. Then again, here with a push we have all the apps. On top we have the activity, lot of information what we have done. Workout to start, but again we have also dedicated button. Workout records, that's also a really nice thing, and we can see a lot of information. We get even the GPS tracking information, and that has been recorded without having the phone with me, so it's a standalone GPS recording function. So I've been starting here, went 2.5 minutes along the road here and back. You can see start and stop at the same location. We can't go into details here, but you can see, for example, distance pace, heart rate, and much more. Then stepping information, what we have done. Then heart rate, a little bit more information here. Sleep, some more details. Stress monitoring, female cycle information, breathe training, different alarms which you can also set in the app. So that's awesome. Here we can activate, deactivate, change everything also here, and not only in the app. We can also add alarms. Has been working really good. Has been very reliably waking me up in the morning. Already on the lowest vibration setting, but we have different vibration levels. And of course you can also make phone calls when it's connected to the smartphone. You have favorites, reasons, keypad. So I'm using my test phone number here, and while we are calling we can adjust the speaker volume. We can mute the microphone.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Okay, I hope you heard that. Speaker definitely working really good. And so let's check the microphone here. I'm talking, of course, to the answering machine now. Hanging up now. And so I've also been listening, and I would say the microphone is really good, especially for this waterproof level. Then timer, really good that we have some presets, but we can also set our own time. What's also good is that it's multitasking, so we can go back to the main screen. Stopwatch, really good. Blood oxygen tracking with more information. Compass has also been working really good. One of the best compass I've ever seen in a smartwatch. Altitude barometer, also very detailed information. Weather we already had. Remote camera control. Music, of course, but it has to be connected. World clock, you can add a different city here. Find my phone and some settings, but I think we had already most of it. Yeah, unread indicator. Yeah, when we activate that we get a red dot for unread. Notifications, some focus help that we don't get notification during workout. Different app views, brightness, automatic dimming at night, always on display. Raise to wake duration between 7 seconds and 60 seconds, sound and vibration. So here we go, I have it in silent mode. And vibration, you have two options. Crown haptics, that's the thing here. So we had already everything, and so here you can see the always on display. Here of course the active screen, and so after the time you have set between 7 seconds and 1 minute, it goes into the passive screen on the always on. If you choose a digital display, it will also show the digital time in the passive display. If you go for an analog watch, for example like this one here, then you can see in the passive always on display it will also show an analog watch. By the way, there's also a touch to wake option, but it works only for some time after going into the passive screen mode. I don't know how long it works, maybe 5 or 10 minutes or so, can't really tell. But that's a really good thing because it prevents during the night from accidentally doing something on the watch, because there's no separate setting for that. You cannot change the length of the touch sensitive option. Now you can see, I think it's already finished. And so if I had turned off the always on and for example activated the sleep setting, after about a minute or so it goes into a state where it's not reacting anymore. No matter what I do, it's not activating the screen, so I have to push here and then I can see the time, and then it will turn off again and I can continue sleeping. That's exactly what we want, so really good. Then to the fitness tracking, let's use this button. Here we have a lot of different options. I think in total more than 60 different sports, and what I really like here is that they are very detailed. So there's for example a huge difference between outdoor walking and pool swimming, which I've been using. So here we have some settings. We can set for example a goal, how long you want to do the exercise or how many calories you want to achieve, or the distance, and then we leave from here and start. And here I think we have to apply the length of the pool. Minimum is 10 meters. The swimmable length of my pool is only 8 meters, even though the pool is 10 meters. But I have to take this into account. That's maybe a little bit a limitation. I hope they can change that we can also select smaller pool size, and then we hit the next, get into countdown. And then it starts with the swim tracking, and you can see there's nothing we can do here. It's also protecting automatically against accidental touch or doing something with the water. So we have to push here really to activate the screen, or of course you can also use the wrist gesture. I think I don't have it activated, so usually we can just move the wrist and we can check the current progress of the swimming. After you have reached your goal regarding sports, for example 5 minutes or so, there is no special information here, unfortunately. I wish there would be a vibration, for example especially for walking, swimming or so, that you know that you have achieved your target, with always having to look down all the time to your watch to find out if you have achieved your goal. Maybe they can add that in the future. And when we want to finish it, we have to long press here, which will also then remove the water. So we have to hold it like that. Water will flow out of the speaker and microphone. And so now we can stop it here. Total different thing with the outdoor walking. By the way, here we don't have any GPS. You can see that here on the top. When I move this to the right side, it automatically switches and shows that it will also check the heart rate and the GPS. We can also adjust the goal, and when we start it here, it's searching for the GPS. Of course it can't find the GPS inside, but outside it has been always finding the GPS very fast. Yeah, it was even quickly on green. Here inside lost it again. But the GPS reception is really good, and definitely not relying on the smartphones. You can just go outside and record the GPS tracks just from this watch. That's absolutely awesome. I had just one problem here. Sometimes when I've been inactive for a while and then started some fitness tracking, and then the watch started saying well done, sometimes 3 or 4 times in a row without really saying what it is. I think it has nothing to do with the daily goals, has also nothing to do with the sedentary reminder. I couldn't figure out till now what it is, but I guess they can get rid of that. But after you had it 3 or 4 times, you can start it and it won't interrupt, because otherwise when it's saying well done, it will stop the sports recording, which is definitely not what we want. Other than that, it has been working really good. So let's go to the app.
And so we are here in the Runmefit app. We have really a lot of information. For example, we have this MAI vitality score. We even have a trend. Can click on details, but I think it's just a weekly overview, not monthly or so. Then we have the steps for the day, week, months, distance in kilometer or miles, day, week, months, calories consumption, also same thing, heart rate, detailed information, day, week, months, daily statistics, sleep also is really a lot of information, sports records. Some of the sports records are rather simple. For example, the swimming doesn't even say swimming. I think that was one swim tracking 10 minutes. And when I click on it, unfortunately there's not much detail, doesn't even show the heart rate, just exercise time and calories, maybe a buck or so. But for the walking we get more information, for example this one here. And here for these sports types which are recording with the GPS, we do not only have the details here, and you can see we really have a lot of details. We also have the heart rate here, for example, but we also have the pass. Of course I have to blur this part because it's showing the street addresses, but I can zoom in, zoom out really nice, see all the details, and I would say it's very accurate, no doubt about that. We also have a mood tracking, blood oxygen tracking, then the device settings. If it's not connected, you can reconnect up here. Here we have the different watch faces, the ones which you have already installed, and more which you can install for free. We have a couple of really nice ones, not hundreds or thousands, but you should be able to find something. Alarm clock, which you can set here or on the watch. Health reminders like sedentary reminder, notification. Here we have also some limitation. We have only these apps here where we can activate or deactivate message notifications. For all other apps we have only a turn on or off. Of course you can change that in the app setting on your smartphone, but you can't change that here. That's maybe a little bit of a restriction compared to other smartwatches, other device settings, like there is to wake, but not needed for the always on, of course. You can sync contacts, activate weather, and here you have some more stuff. Most of that you can also set on the watch. And in my setting we have some system unit settings, and we can also share the data with Google Fit. I've activated that. So I would say we have pretty much everything what we can expect from a really good, very modern, reliable smartwatch. Of course, again, we have some small bugs, we have some small limitations, but the detail level is absolutely amazing. Also the integration level, especially for the crown and some other things which are really convincing. For me, again, one of the best or even the best budget-friendly smartwatch at the moment. So it's a full recommendation from my side. And so if you're interested, I'll put down the link to the Amazon listing down into the description so you can check it out and order one for you if you like. And I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments or want to share your own experience with this smartwatch, then just let us know down in the feedback area. I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.